What's going on, y'all? It's Monty back with another Mondays with Monty. I hope y'all all had a good weekend. I'm almost done with the album. I know I really apologize. I stopped doing like the vlogs because I only did one. But it's so hard for me to hold up like a camera while I'm just trying to live. It's a lot easier for some people who like to do vlogs and things of that nature to walk around and have the camera with them because they've been doing it for so long. But that's just not who I necessarily am, and that's not something I necessarily do. So it's a little more difficult for me, but I still try. I'm trying to get at least a couple more vlogs out before the album is actually finished because I've started to do some music videos and I want to make it like a whole story. I want to make it a whole like mini movie. So stay on the lookout for that. I want to keep that going. I want to make sure that's good. But today I wanted to talk about two things, but they're intertwined obviously. I wanted to talk about the fact that you can lose and the fact that losing is sometimes better than winning. So think about a time where you had something that you were really good at, something that you might have been making leaps and bounds and steps and going far in it, something that you felt as if you were the best at, something that you could do easily, something that came to you naturally. You were doing that, you were being very, very successful, and you start to hit a point where you get this level of grandiosity. You feel this level of grandiosity, and you're just like, oh, I can't do any wrong. Everything I touch turns to gold. I have the Midas touch. Everything is going perfectly for me. Nothing can go wrong. And then, as life always goes, something goes wrong. And a lot of times when people have that build up of grandiosity, they think that like they can't do any wrong. They can't nothing wrong can happen. And when something wrong happens, they crash. They absolutely plummet. And a lot of times people can't really recover from that. Think about how hard of a hit that is to someone's ego, thinking that they're unbeatable. They're this godlike figure, and then they lose or they fail. Think about how much that takes a toll on their mental. So one thing you want to always keep in mind is that you can lose, you can fail, and you will. You will fail. And sometimes it's good to have a failure throughout that process of feeling as if you're unbeatable because you realize, oh, wait, I'm not the exception. No one is ever going to be the exception. Everyone on this planet has failed multiple times and everyone will continue to fail multiple times. You need to have that moment that brings you back to earth. If you ever feel yourself having that level of grandiosity and having that overwhelming confidence where you think nothing wrong can happen, you need to have a moment where you lose and things change up for you. Because when you lose, that's when you really have to learn. That's when you really have to adapt. That's when you really have to step back and think, what do I need to do better? Or what did I just do wrong? Because the chances are you've been doing that wrong for the entire time, but it hasn't caught up with you until now. So that's something really important. So now when you lose, those are those moments when you need to really, really hone in on what it is that you're doing wrong and improve. And if you're always winning, you never get a chance to see what your flaws necessarily are because they're not showing. They only show in a failure. Obviously, everyone wants to win. Everyone wants to be a winner forever. No one wants to fail. But understand that you will at some point, and be ready to face that when you do. Be ready to have to adapt your plan, have to adapt whatever style you're using towards becoming successful again. Because once you have success, you fail, and you find success again, that second wave of success is going to feel so much better. It's going to feel so much better because you know that now you're even better than you were when you thought you had everything. I feel as if a lot of people have that sense of grandiosity. They start to forget we're human. We're going to make mistakes. Things are going to go wrong. Life is unpredictable. Everyone tries to make life so predictable when you can't. It's impossible. Life is never going to be predictable. You got to take it as you go. And even in your wins, understand, always understand that you're going to lose at some point. Always be improving, always be getting the tiniest details, making sure those are as good as they can be because nothing has to be perfect, but make it as good as it can be and you have nothing to worry about. Continue to improve and continue to understand that failure is just around the corner and it can happen to any of us. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope you were able to take something away from that. And I will see you all on Wednesday for our walk. Um, I was almost forgot what I had to say at the end of this. Happy Monday.
About to make it, boy, and that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. You scared to take a risk, but shit ain't scaring me. And if you bleed, then you don't put no fear in me. I'm living cheap, but still been trying to get more paper than Gary V. I said I'm rocking hand-me-downs, ain't cop no shit in months. If you can't buy it twice, my pop said that you shouldn't buy it once. I got a hunch that niggas spending bread so often just to front until I really.